share with everyone and let them know how this came to be?
Well, basically, we were looking for something to do, to get a message out to the world. And when people ask me this question, this is really a spiritual thing. It came to my spirit. Okay. So when we first started it, we wanted to do the 70 times 7. We wanted to write, script it out like that. However, that wasn't available. Went back to the drawing board, and I was just sitting at work one day, and it just came to me. It said Roman numerals. Do it in the Roman numerals. Basically, it was on
it's on
my shirt.
It's actually on my shirt.
Yeah, it's on my shirt.
And that's very unique.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it was very unique, and it was definitely God-given. Because when Xavier, my other son, he actually designed the logo while he was in college. He designed the logo. He had the LXX and the VII. The L is the 50, 10, 10 is 70. The V is 5, 1 and 1 is 7. Okay, so we took it to the guy to actually script it out. And we needed something in the center of the logo.
To divide the numbers.
Yeah, so we was like, this is universal.
It's very strategic.
Universal. So we're going to do the earth there. We're going to do the world. We're going to have the world. So at that point, it still wasn't complete. We put the forgiveness in 7 different languages, at the bottom of the shirt. So it was just a vision from God, I feel, that he wanted us to put it out there. So it wasn't going to stop us with not being able to use the actual word 70 times 7. Like, no, we're going to press forward. We're just going to push it in a different direction. So therefore, that's how the logo of the brand was created.
And how long has it been since it started?
We started around 2015. We really started pushing it 2016.
How acceptable was it when you first, came forth with this, forgive? It's like, I know I'm speaking for some that possibly asking this question or stating, man, how lame is that? Forgive, So how accepting was it when you put it out there, were people jumping on the bandwagon like, It
was very accepting. I mean, people embraced it, Everybody have a story. Everybody have a forgive story, whether you know it or not. So they gravitated toward it, They see the logo, they was like, what's going on? What is that about? And so it's a very good conversation piece. It's an icebreaker because they really don't understand. They'll look at it and say, oh, you're talking about the Super Bowl. And I'm like, well, no, this is not the Super Bowl. But yeah, I can see why you have that thought process,
right,
thinking that it is. So people gravitated towards it, I haven't had anybody not, it's just been, it's been an amazing journey.
And I would say like the biggest thing, or one of the biggest reasons why like the masses of the crowd initially gravitated towards us and towards our messages, because when we introduced it to the world, we didn't introduce it through a t-shirt company. We introduced it as we're going to give back to the community. So the first thing 70 times 7 ever did was a back to school drive. It wasn't putting out shirts for people to purchase. We wanted you to realize like, hey, we're here to make a deeper connection within the community. So first, let me buy back into the community. Let us come together and give our resources to make sure that the kids have books, have the pencils and different things that they need, so they can start the school year off successful. And then after introducing that to them, about a month later, we let them know like, hey, this is 7 times 7, and we will push the message of forgiveness through clothing. We started everything out with the back to school drive to get the community familiar with us, but here's our ultimate goal, and it's to push forgiveness.
Man, that was smart because that's a need.
Right.
And that's one of the things that, we're here to do is to fill a void that has been not just in our community, but we see it nationwide and also globally. The world is actually looking for something, and they're looking for something that they don't know how to reach. So we feel as though we can take this brand and actually help fill that void that these people are facing every day, because we understand the true liberation that comes with having the ability to forgive.
Oh, wow.
And exactly what that does for you as an individual, not just on a small scale, but also on a broader spectrum.
So how important is it to forgive?
Okay, you know, you say how important is it to forgive. You know, how can I expect to be forgiven if I'm unwilling to forgive? I should never ask for somebody to do something for me that I'm not willing to do. So we're asking on a daily basis, you know, as a Christian individual, for our Heavenly Father to forgive us for the things that we do wrong, but yet and still we're harboring unforgiveness towards our brothers.
Oh, wow.
You know, we're blocking him from being able to forgive us. You know, and I know personally, you know, growing up in some pretty tough situations, I harbored a lot of that growing up. You know, and I kept it, and I kept it, I kept it. One of the things that did, you know, to me, it never allowed me to actually enter a relationship wholly, where I could bring everything that I was supposed to bring to that relationship. Not until I actually started taking on the mantle of forgiveness was I able to love my wife, my children, even individuals around me the way that I was supposed to. Because I would keep people at bay. I would only not allow them to get so close because I didn't want to be hurt.
Oh, wow. That's deep.
I didn't want that pain, so I would only allow you to get so close. Even the people that are supposed to be the closest to you. So I understand the hurt that it causes other people when you don't forgive. You know, when you're harboring those feelings, and it's not a good place. We were never designed to walk around with that burden.
Okay.
That was not the design of man. You know, man was not designed to be unforgiving. Nowhere in the Bible can you find unforgiveness. Nowhere. In no scripture can you find that. That was not something that God designed for man. So,
Well, what would you say to someone that feels that we're just too forgiving? Man, come on, we're just too forgiving. People take advantage of you because you're so forgiving.
forgiveness is not for the offender.
Talk about it.
Forgiveness is for the offended.
There you go.
Okay. And once you understand that burden is not yours to carry, then it becomes easy. It becomes easy. When like I said, when you are in a place where you refuse to forgive people for their faults or their wrongs, you're carrying a weight that you're not supposed to carry, and that weight will burden you down. There's a lot of disease, sickness, mental health issues that stem from unforgiveness. And I think that we can actually heal our bodies by releasing that stuff. It's very important.
Wow, you just hit on something.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah, tell
Yes.
me, and you're young,
Yeah.
and you know, young people think differently
Right.
from older people. Now, with all this taking place with the Botham case, you know, the
Mhm.
young man, the officer
Mhm.
killed
Right.
the young man
Right.
unarmed in his home.
Right.
In court,
His
the
brother.
brother hugged the very one that killed his brother.
Right.
The judge hugged her, gave her a Bible. And the bailiff fixed her hair. Now, of course, on social media, man, they're going crazy about it. And a lot of them are young people.
Right.
Because y'all's tolerance when it comes to, you know, it's like younger people are hot-headed.
Right.
Older people ain't saying nothing. You know, they're not getting involved in saying, you know, calm down now. What is your opinion
So
about that situation?
to me, it's twofold. One, it's like I have 3 other brothers, and I can't say that I would have did. I can't say I would have went and hugged the person that killed my brother, but I will say I would have forgiven them. Now, would it have been that that next week or something like that? I just know that I wouldn't have been me, or I can't be me if I didn't forgive him. And it almost kind of hurts me to see how we can. I want to make sure I say this the way, like, even a lot of the young people, like, who are Christians, who claim faith and claim to be God-fearing people, men and women, to is our faith be so shaken and so rattled by something that, at the end of the day, we didn't know Mr. Bachman the day before he was killed. You know what I'm saying? We would have been saying, yeah, we should forgive those who persecute us, or we should forgive those who kill against us, or whatever circumstance may be, we need to forgive them. And so after this, the incident or whatever happened, or the murder of him, to when his brother did what Christ would do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, would Christ not forgive? Did Christ not forgive the man on the cross beside him? Did he not forgive him? Could he have said, you know what? Forgive them. They know not what they do. So I look at it that way. Then I also look at it, what if that moment was meant for that young lady to be introduced to Christ? How do we know that the moment that she experienced in that courtroom won't change millions of lives?
Wow.
Because he forgave her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can we cut that story short? Or how can we cut that story off? You know what I'm saying? Maybe that was her divine moment from God, be like, hey, maybe that's God saying, like, it's time for you to come to me.
It's a big deal coming from
you know what I'm saying? Like, I started to think about it that way as well. It's like, how can we interrupt what God had planned? You know what I'm saying? This is God's world. You know what I'm saying? His plan, not my will, but your will be done. So it was God's will that she be in that courtroom and that she be forgiven from him. Because if it wasn't God's will, it wouldn't have happened. So it has to be part of a bigger plan, and it's God's plan. Mm-hmm. And for us as men who are not God to be telling another man, because man was not meant to rule over another man.
That's right.
So we can't tell him, hey, you shouldn't have forgave her or anything like that, because 1, you're not in his shoes, and 2, you're not God. Mm-hmm. So it's like that's my I guess thinking behind it is it was a divine plan for her to be forgiven at that moment. Now what she will do with that, I don't know, but it's God's plan, not ours. So let's stop trying to share the seat with God and say who should be forgiven and who shouldn't, because at the end of the day, what is it? All sins are equal besides blasphemy. Mm-hmm. So until we become holier than thou and become God, we should let him do his thing, and we should stay where we are. That's my thing about it, whether young, older, or...
Yeah, and the thing about it as well is you're not saying, okay, it's okay, what you done was okay.
Right, that's the thing. That's the thing. We're not excusing what they did.
Exactly. You're forgiving that offense so you can move on.
Make it plain.
And the thing about it, a lot of times people think that forgiveness is something that's instantaneous.
Right.
It's a process.
Talk on that.
It's a process. He forgave the offense, and he forgave the offender. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a 3-step process. You have to forgive the offense, you have to forgive the offender, and then you have to take the time to forgive yourself, which is a lot of times the hardest part of this forgiveness walk. Is forgiving yourself for being a victim.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, definitely.
For being a victim. Yeah. And a lot of times we want to say, well, I forgive you, but we don't walk out those steps, and it comes back up, and you're still harboring those feelings. But you have to go through those 3 steps in order to truly forgive somebody.
What are those 3 steps?
You have to forgive the offender.
Okay.
You have to forgive the offender. And you have to forgive yourself for being a victim.
Did y'all hear that?
You have to. And that young man, in my opinion, he took a brave step.
Yes.
Because he did this knowing that he was going to face criticism.
Right.
Knowing that his peers were probably going to look at him sideways. Knowing that some of his family members were going to look at him sideways. in a war, and this is definitely a war, and people can believe it or not.
It's a spiritual battle.
We are warring against, the adversary. The adversary did not want that young man to stand up there and do what he did, but he boldly stood up there and said, "Look, I forgive you. I'll hug you." Because
That was the statement right there.
I know that God has a plan for your life. I don't know what that plan is, but I know that there's purpose inside of you, and this time right here, I am going to help you. I'm going to help you make it through this process, because that woman took a life, something that was not hers to take, because
Justly.
Right. It was unjust.
And God is the ultimate judge. Man looks through things through imperfect eyes.
Mm-hmm.
We can't see we can't see what the way that God looks at things. That same woman might be the woman that leads many to Christ.
Mm-hmm.
She might have one of the strongest jail ministries known to man.
You see, nobody is looking at it that way.
But that's because we're looking at, man looks at things through imperfect eyes, only through the circumstances and situations that he's faced.
Right.
Yeah, you can only process from where you are in your life.
So,
The things that you have experienced.
so like,
That's basically what we filter
Yes.
through.
so all of the people out there on social media, and I hear it, at work, that are looking at the situation, they're looking at it through the eyes of man.
Oh yeah.
They're looking at it through their past circumstances and their past situations. Their rearing, their upbringing. God has seen this story play out a long time ago. This story was already written.
So tell me this: what was it that made y'all get a grip on this? Was it something personal that it worked for you to forgive?
I know personally, like I said, in my life, the hurt that I've caused loved ones because of unforgiveness, and I saw where it was killing my relationships, and I didn't want to be that person. So there had to be something that was bigger. And then when we as a family started talking about, okay, well, we need to do something, and the forgiveness message came, it took a couple of years for me to actually start internalizing the things that happened that brought me to the place where I was.
Yeah.
So I would say that you can call it for selfish reasons, because I wanted to preserve the love that I have for my family, the community, and also I wanted to see the world in a better place than it is right now. Right now, there's so much turmoil in the world right now because of unforgiveness that it's sad. It actually it saddens my soul to actually see some of the things that I see on a day-to-day basis. And there has to be some change agents. There has to be somebody to carry the mantle that says,
I like that.
hey,
Change agents.
we're going to go out here and we're going to fight this thing head on. Now, there are going to be some that don't agree with the message.
Right.
There are going to be some that want to jump on board and help us propel the message forward. And there's going to be some little kid that actually sees that, hey, we can start this at a young age, and we don't have to grow up through all the mess, trying to filter our way through life, carrying burdens that weren't ours to carry. And so that's why we reach out to the children in the schools at the early ages. That's why we try to reach out to the older people that are possibly on their last leg.
Right.
Because they have to come to a point where they understand that forgiveness is for them as well. We are going to continue to be intentional about spreading this message, because it is a message that actually not only will change our families, our communities, our country, but I do believe that it will change the way that the global world looks at one another.
Okay. Debbie, what is the mission of 77 times 7?
70 times.
70 times 7.
The mission is basically to preach forgiveness throughout the world, throughout the nation. Just to let people know that there is another way. You know, you had asked the question, when I was given the message for forgiveness, I actually questioned God. I was like, Lord, why me? You know my family, you know what I'm saying? You know how estranged everything is. So why would you choose me? You know, why would you choose my family? And he said, why not? Why not? And he basically is just dealing with me daily, every day. Something renewed is coming through on the inside of me. I'm finding more and more reasons to forgive. So that's basically it, just to bring freedom and peace and love for self. And then that way it can radiate out to other people.
Okay. Now, you know y'all gonna have to come back because we got cheated out of time because of technical difficulties. So you gotta come back. But I want you to tell the people how they can contact you, how they can get your products. What exactly do you have?
Yeah, so we have a variety of products ranging from clothes, apparel, as far as shirts, both short sleeve and long sleeve, and hoodies, jackets, hats. We also have wristbands. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LXX_VII, and our URL link to our website is forgivefamily.org. Everything, our pricing and everything is easy and affordable.
So you have an online store?
Yeah, we have an online store. We have an online store, forgivefamily.com. We encourage everybody who's watched this video to check us out. And we also, on our webpage as well, you'll see forgiveness testimonies from other individuals within the community of Bartow County. So we'd love for people who hear this to submit their forgiveness testimony, because you never know, like, the thing that you persevered through and forgiving somebody for can free somebody else.
Right.
You know, this forgiveness walk is not only to help free you, but you're going to help free the world as well. So, yeah, check us out. Come follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And come check out our webpage as well.
Do y'all accept invitations to speak?
Yes. Not too long ago, my family actually spoke at a school in Cartersville. Yeah, they was able to do that. So that was pretty great to help spread the message of who we are, getting our message out there as well. So we're open to any invitation.
All right. So the next time y'all come, we want all those fine boys. You tell them how many children you have.
I have 4 sons.
4 sons.
Yes, 4 sons.
And all of y'all are in this together.
Oh yes, it's definitely a family business. I hate to use the word business because it's more of a movement. You know, it's more, we're looking more for change.
Right.
Ministry, yes. I've had people that will see the brand, they will approach me in the store and they're like, you know what, I'm just not ready for that shirt. I'm not ready for it. And I say, you know what, you may not never be ready to put it on. Right. But it's when you see the brand, as long as that forgiveness has been molded in your thinking. Right. We've done our part.
Oh boy. See, this is a conversation that can go on and on for a long period of time. And of course, I want to thank everybody for tuning in on social media. I do want to apologize once again that our time was stolen from us. This is the debut of the Relationship Lounge show. And of course, I'm promising that they're going to be back. I want y'all to make sure you go on their website and purchase the material, because I believe that if you wear their brand, it's going to set a standard. It's going to just let people know, well, I forgive. I'm not amongst the crowd that's not wanted, that feels like I forgive too much. So I want you all to please connect with the Niblett family. Is that right?
Forgivefamily.org.
Yes. Also, let me just share with you the importance of forgiveness concerning me. It really is not for that other person. It really is for you.
Right.
I cannot imagine being in the shoes of the young man that hugged the person that killed his family member, but I don't think it's fair that we judge the situation if you're not in the situation, because you have no idea the thought process if you're not in the situation. So be the bigger person when someone makes it a conversation and they say things like, I don't know how he could have done that. Why didn't his mom stop him? You know, just pray for them. Pray for them, because I would imagine he needed that peace.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, he made that move. He needed that peace. So let's just leave people to, you know, figuring it out and not make everything such a conversation. Would y'all agree?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's for his freedom.
Yeah.
It's for his freedom.
Yeah.
It's for his own personal liberation.
Absolutely. That's what forgiveness
Yeah.
is. It can be based on the opinion of another, right?
Right.
It can be based on you being led by someone. Am I right about it?
It's got to be that your decision, an internal decision, that I no longer want to carry this dead weight. So my question to a lot of people that's judging that young man: how long was he supposed to carry that burden?
Jeez.
How long? When would it have been acceptable? When she dies? You know what I'm saying? Like, when was it being acceptable for him to forgive him? Why not then? Why not that moment?
Well, you don't need someone's permission to
Yeah,
forgive.
you do not. You need nobody's permission to forgive.
And he took that initiative,
Right,
didn't he?
exactly. So that it does, in that moment, it does show courage. It does show that I'm not gonna, carry this.
It was real bravery.
And he's taking one of the 3 steps to to be completely forgiven, to completely forgiving her.
Right.
So opposed to being
And then
chastised.
again, it's very important to understand he's not, well, I don't know what he's saying, but it's not like he's saying
It's
it
excuses.
was okay that you killed my brother.
Okay. Well, we got like maybe a minute left, and I want you to take advantage of this minute and just speak to someone that is harboring and holding something inside. From your experience, just briefly share the importance of them letting that go.
Wow. If you want to be free to love freely, you got to let it go. It is a dead weight that will absolutely drain all the life out of the inside of you. You just got to trust God at His word and understand if you don't forgive, you will not be forgiven.
Isaiah?
What I would say is that burden was never yours to deal with in the first place. Release it to God. Forgive the other person, forgive yourself, forgive the event in itself, and just walk in freedom. And forgive because you are forgiven.
Unforgiveness locks you inside of an eternal cell, a cell that it has your mind locked up. You can be free. You can free yourself. You have the keys to your own freedom. Use the keys that are available to you. Forgiveness is one of those keys. I promise you, as God is my witness, it works.
Thank you, son. Thank you, Isaiah. Thank you, Debbie. And I'm going to leave you by saying, love everybody and be an example. Thank you for tuning in. And of course, please continue to follow Relationship Lounge on all social media. We will be back next Thursday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And God willing, we won't have any issues